is Bidla, and the leader of Alleanza, Bidla, the Eurosceptic party. Well, Eurosceptic, first of all, we are definitely not extreme right. We are totally opposed to extreme right. Two comments. Firstly, we don't feel that the EU project is a good project per se, but the EU itself is not living up to the expectations of the people. And when you have yourself saying things like you are guarding jobs, environment, and so on, and then on the opposite side you hear unions, big unions, and even America saying the opposite. Frankly, the people are confused. They're saying, who is telling the truth? And this is where Euroscepticism comes in, because of the past behavior of the EU, we feel, like you're wrong, we feel definitely that it's been undemocratic. It has been hiding things from us. It has been not as clear as we want it to be. It has not been working for the people, but it has been working for the businesses, etc., etc. It becomes confusing. So this is something which I feel that the EU should be addressing properly, because this is what is leading to Euroscepticism, and this is what is feeding the extreme right, which also frightens people like us who are genuinely worried about these things. I'd just like to mention one other comment, if I may. You mentioned Sweden being very protective of its constitution. Again, I see a possible conflict now with what is happening with regards to trade. For instance, I think you agree with that the European Union has no jurisdiction over national constitutions. It just cannot ride over the constitutions. The European Court of Justice even cannot change and cannot rule over particular parts. There are constitutions in places which says clearly, like the Maltese Constitution says, that it is the supreme law of the land. So if Malta decides that this particular trade agreement is not good for Malta, and then the European Union says, well, we've had a vote and it's got to go through in this way, there is a clear conflict with the Constitution. How are we going to be tackling such issues? Because I have no doubt whatsoever that these will be cropping up in the future. Yes, but one last comment, I agree, I understand. I just feel that the present way that the EU is working in a uniform, one-size-fits-all manner is not necessarily a good way, because each country has its own economic needs, even currency, etc., etc. So what might affect one country positively could inevitably affect another. How are we going to cope with such dilemmas that I have no doubt will crop up by the Eurosceptic movements?
Thank you. You, sir, we need a few hours to discuss it, you and I, of course, because I think we will not agree. Obviously, I don't agree that the EU is only for the business. I think we have done fantastic things to allow students here to come and study from all over the European Union, for people to be able to travel, to work, research. The European Union is leading when it comes to climate, fight against climate changes in the world. And all these are good for people. And some companies would not necessarily agree that the climate change regulations are good for business, I would say. But countries have decided to join the European Union. I know that you had a difficult referendum here, but that was the outcome that you joined. And with joining the European Union, you give up a little bit of your sovereignty in order to have more power of the bigger picture. That is how it is perceived. You can agree with that or not, but that is the notion. And in doing this, you say that yes, on a number of occasions, European law is supreme to Maltese law. And when it comes to trade agreements, they are binding for everyone. If we might have that situation if Maltese Parliament votes no to sit that, well, then member states will need to sit and discuss what to do. Because that has never happened, and one country will say, we don't want to be part of it. But it is a European competence. TTIP. President Trump has not said anything about TTIP. He has killed TPP, Trans-Pacific Partnership, been very clear on that. That was an electoral promise. He has